Good morning. Today, I'd like to talk to you about hearing the voice of God. Yes, I'm insane enough to believe that God speaks to me. I'm also crazy enough to believe that God speaks to you. In fact, I will stick my neck out and go so far as to say that God speaks to everyone, everywhere, all the time. In fact, I do not just believe that, I know it's true. I also know it's true that for most of our lives we have not heard the voice of God or recognized it as such. For you see, God is invisible to us. And even though we cannot see what we call God, in fact, I wrote a book once called Living Gods Are Hard to Find. No, it's not published, so don't look for it on Amazon.com. At least it wasn't published by any known publisher. I published 200 copies of it myself as a Paradox publication. God has spoken to us through nature. And when you consider nature's God, which the framers of the documents upon which America was founded, the United States of America was founded. When you consider nature's God, God is, yes, invisible, but also unavoidable. For the God of nature, the God of what is, the God of the cosmos, is everywhere. Yes, omnipresent. Everywhere. God is. So though God may be invisible, God is also totally unavoidable. You hear the voice of God in the cry of a newborn baby. And it doesn't matter what religion that baby's parents is. It doesn't matter what nation, what race, what culture, what tribe. That cry of the newborn baby is the voice of God, and the Spirit of God taking on physical form so that we can see that baby, and as a family recognize the Spirit of God in that child that never has done anything wrong in this lifetime that it's being born into, never had a false belief, just was a baby, born of the nature of life itself. And every one of us was born that way. At some point, every one of us came from our mother's womb, through her body, and was born into this physical world. Everyone that's hearing my voice knows that's true. You came in that way, so did I. We are all children of that invisible God, just as innocent, just as pure, with a blank slate. It may not be as blank as it seems, but nevertheless, from the human perspective, it is certainly a blank slate. I say from the human perspective because humans are much bigger than just one lifetime. The soul is much bigger than just one experience of birth and death and that which comes between. We're all children of God. It's time to become adults of God. Paul said, when I say Paul now, I'm talking about the guy that wrote most of the New Testament in what we now call the Bible. He said, when I was a child, I spoke as a child. I understood as a child, but when I became a man, I put away childish things. It's time for us to put away the childish things that have divided us. We've all seen children play, and when they reach a certain age and they understand me and my, and it's mostly me and my, it's not even I, it's me and my. That's mine, that's mine. And you've watched children play, where one child will pick up the toy that another child identifies as its property. And they may fight over it. It's mine, it's mine. Have not we, as children of God, done the same thing with our religions, with our political parties, with our nationalities, with our cultures? It's mine, it's mine, it's mine. When I was a child, I thought that way. I recognized mine. I didn't recognize that everything was mine. But as I hear the voice of God in me, I recognize that it's all mine. That I am in everything because God is in me, and God is everything. And everything that I see in the physical world is a part of God. I am that. I am. And that, and that, and that. And as many directions as I point my vision, I cannot help but see God. In everything that I observe, I can hear God. In the rippling of a creek, of a river, in the roar of a waterfall, in wind blowing through trees, in the flower, in the sunshine, in the rain, in the crops that grow from the earth, and the animals that each does their own thing, and even in the cry of the human heart for justice, for mercy, for love, for compassion. This is the voice of God speaking to us in our world, in everything and in every way, if we will but attune our hearts to hear. Nature's God is so far beyond all of our pettiness, beyond all of our divisions, all of our artificial boundaries. I hear the voice of God speaking to me, telling me that the only way out of the predicament that we have created is by going within, where the kingdom of God is, and hearing the voice of God within our own being, within my own being. Hearing the voice of God saying, I love you, Ron, and I love everyone else just the same. I am not a respecter of persons. I don't choose one person against another or over another. I humble the exalted, but I also elevate those that are pushed down. And that's what I'm doing right now. That's what I'm doing throughout your planet, throughout Pachamama, Mother Earth, in every religion and nation, on every continent. I am awakening men and women, and even children, to remember and to hear my voice. I'm reminding everyone to step out of the prison that you have created for yourself through many lifetimes. Learn the lessons of that prison. Gain the wisdom, but step out of it and hear my voice saying, I love you. I have always loved you. I will always love you. Not because of what you do or what you believe or what you think or what you feel or what you've done, but because of who you are and who I am in you. Hear the voice of God this morning and allow God to put his arms around you and give you a big hug. And feel that hug. Feel the love of God as God's heart is next to your heart. If you have trouble imagining that as a non-physical being hugging you as a physical being, get a physical being to hug. Find someone that you love that loves you, and hug each other. And let your hearts beat right next to each other. Breathe together, in and out. What you hear in the silence is the voice of God. It is love. Thank you for letting me share with you this morning the wisdom that is in all of us. Let the invisible God come out of silence in your life and speak with the still small voice of heaven. Shalom.